Hey there everyone. Halloween means something to everybody, especially the DVD collectors, and we all have got our favorite thing that we're looking forward to when Halloween's coming around. A lot of people are running out to get Day of the Dead. They want to get the Amityville box set that has the real 3D in it, and some people are more classic guys. They want to get that Vincent Price set, even though they've probably got all the movies, but they want to get them in Blu-ray. I get all that, but anybody that watches my channel knows that I'm the feature whore. And I look for things with great special features. So Screen Factory has been a really, really good friend of mine when it comes to getting stuff. But even more so than that, I love the documentaries. There are great documentaries that I do not have. I'm not going to list them off the top of my head right now because they're not going to be in the list that I'm going to write and I'm going to tell you about. And basically that's Machete Maidens, great one. Roger Corman, great one. There's one, damn, and I cannot remember the name of it, but it's totally blanked out on me. Anyway, whatever it was a fantastic documentary. I'm going to do my list of some of my top movie documentaries, specifically horror, one that's not quite horror, and the rest that pretty much are. And I'm going to tell you why. About 2.5, 3 years ago, there's a documentary put out called His Name Was Jason. It was supposed to be the definitive Friday the 13th documentary. Around the same time, Making of Camp Crystal Lake, Making Friday the 13th came out, as well as Peter Brack's giant magnum opus coffee table book called Crystal Lake Memories. People who'd gotten the book went out and they kind of ran out and got this movie hoping to finally hear the definitive word, the final word. Just like the book was the final word on Friday the 13th, this would be the final documentary. This would show everything that we wanted to see. And it didn't. It was about 80 so minutes long. Savini hosted it the best he could, but the stuff was pretty put together fast, and it looked like it was put together pretty cheap to just grab the cash. And it worked. A lot of people bought it, and the best thing about it was mostly the bonus interviews after the feature, because the feature was kind of weak. So, yet again, as we always do, us Friday the 13th fans, and which I'm a huge one of, got The Shaft. We'd remembered getting The Shaft before because they'd put out all the movies onto DVD, and they hadn't given us the uncut copies of any of them. And then they put out the box set. From Crystal Lake to Manhattan, Paramount put out a box set. And it was incredible. You were getting all the Friday the 13th movies, finally, all the good ones anyway. And still, no uncuts. Well, scenes. And then they put them out again in 2 disc sets, lovingly restored, and they're fantastic. And then even better than that, they put out the first 3 on Blu-ray. So wow, we're finally getting some stuff. And then they announced it finally, the big box tin. It's like all the Friday the 13th movies on Blu-ray, everything from the first one, all the Paramounts, all the new lines, even the Michael Bay remake. So what happens? They give us all of them on Blu-ray. They double sum them up onto a disc, and they give us a bonus disc. Finally, we're gonna get it. Extra features, but no, it's the bonus disc from the first set from Crystal Lake to Manhattan. And we finally get the Friday 13th Part 7 uncut release. Are we finally going to get to see it? No, we're not. Still unavailable. But hey, they gave us a patch. Seriously. The one thing that did come out that finally excited every Friday the 13th fan, just like Never Sleep Again was brought out a couple years ago to finally give us the definitive word on Nightmare on Elm Street, they've brought out Crystal Lake Memories, the 2 Blu-ray, 2 DVD set, 7-hour long documentary on Friday the 13th. Finally, all we got to do is wait for the uncut versions. We're good to go. Great stuff. Looking forward to it. But right now is my top list of top documentaries in my collection, mostly horror, that I have. And the last one, I'm going to do the non-horror one first. And that would be Stanley Kubrick Life and Pictures. Kubrick is on this list because, well, he made The Shining. A great film to some, a bastardization of Stephen King's book to the others, and to me it's both. It's like Clockwork Orange. I kind of like what he did with Clockwork Orange because some people got pissed and moaned about him not including the last bit of the book into the into the Clockwork Orange movie. But if anybody read Clockwork Orange, in the end of the book, he gets tired of the violence and decides to turn his life around and be a happy, productive member of society. Yeah, that wouldn't have made anybody happy in the movie. That would not have made for a good Clockwork Orange film. It ended where it should have ended. Stanley Kubrick, Life and Pictures, great documentary. I Heart Movie Monsters. Full disclosure, looks really good. I bought this. One of these days I will watch it. But hey, it's a horror documentary. It's going on my list. Next up, this is kind of a documentary. There's a documentary thing onto it. Is a Grindhouse Trailer Classics. It was the first volume that came out. There's kind of an Emily Booth featurette on there that talks about the world of Grindhouse cinema. I got a kick out of that, and hey, it comes with 55 Grindhouse trailers. Something I kind of like to put on when I'm just like studying and stuff like that. I'll just put it on the background. It's really cool. Next up, Under the Scares. This one was done, I think, by a guy in Montreal, where the Fantasia Film Festival is done. And you get a lot of names on there: Ramiro, Herschel Gordon Lewis, Lloyd Kaufman, Deborah O'Shawn, Tony Tamponi, Robert Kurtzman. Yeah, just a lot of names. I enjoyed this documentary. It's pretty much a talking head type thing, but it's definitely worth picking up. Next up is one that really surprised me exactly how damn good it was. And I've watched this one about 10 or 12 times, I think. Psycho Legacy. Does the entire series and does it so well, and it's by Shout Factory, that you kind of got to wonder exactly what they're going to put on the Psycho 2, Psycho 3 Blu-rays coming out next week. It'll be interesting to know, will they regurgitate some of the stuff in the Psycho Legacy? Because this was a pretty comprehensive look at the Psycho films, and really well done. I've heard that Psycho 3 has the best features. Just a heads up there. Psycho 2 may be a better movie, but Psycho 3 has the best features. If I get either one of those on Blu-ray down the road, Psycho 3 is going to be first. Next up is the Definitive Slasher documentary. No, it's not Slice and Dice, sadly. That one left a lot to be desired. It is Going to Pieces. Going to Pieces was a great book on slasher films that became a really cool documentary on slasher films. Of course, there are some people that pretty much put it down and say that it doesn't give them anything new and they knew all this going in, but then why did you buy it? I'm sorry. Going to Pieces is a really good documentary on the rise and fall of the slasher films, and some people just like to think they know a little bit more than they do, so they'd be too important and this would be below them. They'd be wrong. It's a cool documentary. If you like slasher films, you're going to like this one. Don't pass it up. Next up is Not Quite Hollywood, and this is an amazing documentary. I do not know how many times I've seen this. I started watching this one back when it was on Netflix. I found a copy of myself back when they had Blockbuster. This is so freaking good. This is the reason that I ended up getting Escape 2000, which some of you know was a turkey shoot. Basically, it's the story of of the Australian exploitation genre. It's so cool, such good stuff. And yeah, there's lots of horror stuff like Patrick and that on there, but one of my favorite ones, I can watch this any time of the day, and whenever I'm in a down mood, this is the type of thing I can put on, and I just automatically just get stoked. It's really cool. Not Quite Hollywood. If you don't have it in your collection, shame on you. This is really, 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 really good. And number one, and no shock to anybody, Never Sleep Again, the Elm Street Legacy. This one, back in the day, I think cost me like $40 when it first came out. A 2-disc set. I got this one from HMV. It had to be imported. I think I spent like a month and a half waiting for it to come in, because it took forever for this thing to come in. And I was like so stoked. I didn't realize how extensive this was going to be, and pretty freaking extensive. I mean, really cool stuff on this. The feature presentation is amazing. Goes through every one of the movies, every sequel, and just really, really in-depth interviews everybody. Slash scenes, basically extended interviews around here. And we see for the, I think this may have been for the first time we see this, Horror's Hallowed Grounds. Wow. Yeah, that's a Scream Factory, one of the big features on Scream Factory DVD, Blu-rays and DVDs is Horror's Hallowed Grounds, where they go back to look at the area where the movie was made. And they're really fun, it's kind of cool and humorous and kind of reverent and stuff like that. I did not realize that this actually had Horror's Hallowed Grounds. This may be, but you can comment down below and let me know. Was this the first Horror's Hallowed Grounds? Is this where we got started at? Nightmare on Elm Street in 10 Minutes and much more. I think this one may have the, I know that the Friday the 13th one did, which is one of the good things, but I'm not sure if this one did or not. The Angry Video Game Nerds, like a review of the game. Because the Friday the 13th Angry Video Game Nerd review, hilarious. And I knew there was a Nightmare on Elm Street one too, and we all know how that Nightmare on Elm Street game went. Yeah. Anyway, honorable mention that I don't have, alright, there's two. And they're two really good ones that I really had to pick up down the road. I had one in my hands a while back when there was a Jumbo Video closing out. I thought I was going to get back to that Jumbo Video to buy this one. I didn't. Wanted to kick myself for it afterwards. I felt so upset about it. Best worst movie, or best worst movie. The making of talking about looking back at Troll 2. And anybody that knows Troll 2 knows how hilarious that's going to be. The other one is More Brains, which was a really, really good documentary on Return of the Living Dead. Now, if I end up getting over to England, or if I know anybody that has an extra copy, inbox me, definitely if you do. They put out, Second Sight put out a steelbook of the Return of the Living Dead on Blu-ray, and the second disc was a DVD copy, I think, of More Brains. So yeah, I got to pick that up down the road because it's expensive as hell around here. I mean, just the copy of More Brains alone is like $40. So that's my list. And before I go, the Horror Globe is hitting the air. It's our new horror channel. There's a lot of us that they're going to be doing some really, really cool stuff. Be sure to check it out. Subscribe to us. It's just getting started. We haven't got a lot of videos on there yet, but as it goes through, we're going to be putting a lot of really cool stuff on there. I'm going to put a lot of cool exclusive stuff on there. I'm going to have some reviews. I'm going to have some really different stuff. I'm going to try and make stuff that is exclusively cool for that channel, kind of like crossing back and forth. So you're going to watch some of my stuff in the Horror Globe. You're going to watch some more of my stuff here on my own channel. And definitely there's some great guys working on this. We've got Lola's Basement, we've got TJ Pyramid, we've got Felgar 517, we've got Night of the Creepy Monster Squad. We've got so many cool people working on this. Film Game Junkies is on this one here. Joe's House of Horrors is working on this one here. Simon Says Movies is working on this. I hope I got the name right. Really cool stuff. Just check it out. So worth it. The Horror Globe. We'll see our stuff up there soon. I'm going to be doing some lists there. We're going to be doing some horror movie reviews, some horror game reviews. Just some really cool different stuff. And watch out, because you may even see Lucha Gore. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. And right now, for me, it is seriously time for tea.